Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another relaxed end time session. And today on the menu, both literally and metaphorically, we have the Siege of Kislev, or rather the city of Kislev itself. During the previous few turns, I did burn Beckhafen to the ground, and the garrison in the city was quite miserable, to be honest. So, and the army that was near it simply retreated down south, so there wasn't much to show. And then I went after Kislev, but in the meantime, Karl Franz, although he lost some units, did manage to clear up all the armies in the north. More or less. There's a few over here, and that's about it, I think. So yeah, we're gonna need to... Well, basically my plan was to keep heading down south over here and try and destroy as many of these settlements as possible, but I'm going to need to head back north and re-destroy all of these settlements that they've set up once again, and allow for a few more, basically, for a few more armies of chaos to spawn and to reinforce themselves and all that. There are also these armies down here, which I think are attempting to get to Dieterschafen and Norden and Ehrengrad, but those places are well fortified, so they're having some trouble doing it. But anyways, let's get to the Battle of Kislev, and here we go. There she is. There lies the city. Quite a pretty little place. They've rebuilt it to a level 4 settlement, believe it or not. Yeah, a level 4 settlement in the short few turns that the settlement wasn't razed to the ground and serving as little more than a demon altar. And they have stationed a very low-level basic army here that, well, doesn't really have much in the way of a chance against our forces. So, other than that steam tank, I think this will be a relatively easy victory, as indicated by the balance of power, among other things. So, let's send the siege towers in. And in retrospect, I probably should have put regular chosen on the siege towers here rather than ones with great weapons, but oh well, bit too late for that now, and it doesn't really matter. Essentially, my idea was, oh, this is funny. These would, in regular circumstances, do a lot of damage when firing like that upon a lord. But Archeon has a ridiculous amount of armor, and you know, even with that armor, they're still doing a decent bit of damage. But I'm more than happy to tank it with Archeon. Now let's get the spell casting. And that is a full Empire unit gone. Fortunately, didn't go in the direction that I would have hoped it would, but nevertheless. Wonderful, that is 200 kills on Archeon already. And I think we're going to give him a bit of a break now. And send these guys up the walls too. And I think another one of the fire things will seal the Empire's fate when it comes to these lower segments of the defences down here. The Mirror Guard are taking quite some damage, but that's alright. I will send them up the siege tower. I'll send these two guys up the siege tower as well. I haven't even started attacking the gate, sorry, yet. Which is a little bit unfortunate. I would have hoped we would have gotten there sooner, but no such luck. There is an Empire captain defending over there. See if I can't get rid of these archers with fiery head of death. Really didn't do that much damage, unfortunately. But 200 and something kills on a nearly 300 kills on Archeon is certainly impressive. Now, we're going to need to focus here a little bit on these swordsmen and these halberdiers. The ram is stuck for some reason. Oh. There's troops ahead of it, in front of it. I did not realise that. Oh well. We are easily winning at the walls though, so that should all be over soon. I'm wondering where they put the steam tank, because I cannot see it anywhere for the life of me. There it is. Fortunately, it is obstructed by the walls, somewhat at least. And out of the entire garrison of soldiers defending the gates, all that remains is one unit of greatswords that will fight against chosen halberdiers and most likely lose. I think I'm going to buff Archeon with everything I have at this stage, well, him and the soldiers around him. We will take some losses, this is inevitable. Mainly due to that siege tank being present, but see if I can hit it with a fireball, maybe. Huh, that did shockingly little. But that is fine. I think now would be a good time to bring in the cavalry on this fight here. Because they will be able to attack the archers as well. Now the Empire is holding shockingly well though. I would have expected most of their skirmisher troops to break at this point, but they have not done so. I think I'm going to start descending down the ladder here. To try and get to their archers and ultimately the spearmen at the rear. And well, this we can leave, but I do want to get rid of that steam tank. And as far as the cavalry are concerned, I would like them to go around the settlement and hit the handgunners and the archers in the central plaza. That would be optimal, let's say. With most of the infantry coming off the walls now, they've done their bloody work on the battlements and the fortifications. Now it is time to move on, I suppose. And we will get another fiery burning head, in which, well, it did a fair amount, I would say. Unfortunately, the steam tank now gets terrifyingly more effective, and is guarded by the Reichsguard as well, which is somewhat fitting and actually quite cinematic, I would say. Would you look at that? I do want to silence these archers though, so let's focus on doing just that. You have used your bows and arrows long enough. We only have the enemy lord to get rid of now, and I think I'll send Archeon after that, personally. Now that is a terrifying sight. It gives off some Doom vibes with all the fire and brimstone. Oh, appears the enemy general has decided to surrender, and the only thing still fighting is the steam tank, and, well, understandably so, it is a steam tank. But it will not do so for long, I will assure you. Essentially, the entirety of the hostile army is defeated and running away. appears we could not stop Curtis Aldridge, though, from escaping the battlefield unharmed. Well, somewhat unharmed, at least physically, but Kislev is ours this day, with some casualties that were inevitable, but also with a awe-inspiring number of kills on the battlefield as well. And I mean, just look at this. Archers managed to kill a few Chosen and a few Mirror Guard here and there. Steam Tank did Steam Tank did relatively okay, but everything else was just completely overrun. And this is good for the experience for the respective units as well and all that, which is quite nice at this. But these cavalry are doing relatively well too, and all the impressive. Again, not which you can get. Well, apologies. Because at range, you would think that the steam tank would have some advantage, you know, with the entire gun, but Archeon can cast spells, and when they close for battle, you would think that maybe Archeon would have some advantage, but Steam Tank is extremely, extremely tough, so I don't know, to be honest with you. Let's get Gathering of Might, because I think that'll be quite useful for the future. And I think we're heading to Prague next, because Prague is well, it is a large city, but I do need to move a character over here in order to get the crown of domination, so there we go. And there is one more battle to fight up here, and I will teleport to do so. Actually, I might not. I might actually walk up there, take a nice stroll up the Chaos Wastes. Not because I'm, you know, keen on doing so, but right, my apologies there, but I've had, I think, my first or second crash in the campaign so far. Essentially all I've done was make my way from Kislev to Prague up here, and I've sieged Prague, and I've besieged Balthazar Gelt as well, and in the next turn we're going to attack him once basically all of his garrison and all of his men have been halved. Well, not literally, but the number of men has been halved. We will halve them literally when we storm the city. Anyways, I was talking quite a bit about Prague and Kislev when the game crashed and I lost like a few minutes of footage. I'm going to need to attack all of these places once again, but none of them have any garrison except maybe over here. I believe there is an Empire army somewhere in here, maybe two. So I will show the footage of me fighting that army, but other than that, I really don't see a reason not burn all of Kislev once again off camera. Because you've seen me attack the actual faction of Kislev and destroy everything, and actually have to fight them, but this time round... Oh, my hero has been wounded, lovely. But this time round, I actually don't have much of a garrison to fight anywhere, and especially not with the army composition that I have. So effectively, what I'm going to do off camera is I'm going to attack all of these places and destroy them, thus creating once again all the various vessels of Chaos armies that Archaon destroyed last time, and or in the, not last time, but in the previous few turns. And also, what I'm going to do is probably head up north and fight this battle, but I will show all of the more significant or challenging battles. I will, however, destroy these settlements like Volksgrad, the Hell Pit, Fort Ostrok, and all of these off camera, so I will show you just the battle against Volkmar, which is a legendary lord, and this one against Karl Franz. So, that said, let's get into the Battle of Prague. Alright then, here we go. A bit too much of a straightforward siege and settlement, but little that can be done about that. I think I'm going to do everything more or less the same as in the previous siege battle. The only difference now is that I'm going to put the Mirror Guard in the rear, because I thought they had like... yeah, I thought they had more armor and defense, but they don't. I think ultimately what would be a good idea would be to just get rid of the Mirror Guard. Because, I mean, what's the one thing? That they're immune to psychology. Ward save 5, magic resistance 15. Physical resistance 12. And, yeah, I think Mirror Guard is just, or was just pretty much a mistake from the get-go, but alright. Anyways, let's do everything as before, and get moving. Good. Archaon tanking all of the damage once again, dodging a bit of it here and there. And, well, there's gonna be fewer kills this time round, I'm afraid. But regardless of that fact, see if we can't silence that mortar. You know, it was neither here nor there, I think. It did semi-alright, but now that our warriors are here, let's send a few up the ladders. Interesting that they've positioned the entirety of their force on the ladders. Oh, sorry, on the walls, rather than try and defend elsewhere. But you know, I'm not going to complain about that. particular choice that they've made. It is theirs to make. Let's see if I can do any damage to the steam tank. Not really. But we've hit the Demigryph Knights in the rear, and that, well, we've shaved off a little bit of their health, and that'll help in the grand scheme of things later. And we still have troops pouring out of the siege towers here. We should be able to reach the archers and the white wolves as well soon. Quite a few legendary units here, or regiments of renown. We are battering down the gate as well. We have not, well, apart from this unit here, we have not taken many losses at all, which bodes well for us. But we will have a fight against the angry transvestite himself. It's an old Warhammer joke, never mind. It's a very, very old Warhammer joke. Oh, I think that was very painful. Actually didn't do that much damage, never mind. I thought it would do more. Interestingly enough, we've broken the enemy units over here extraordinarily quickly. I thought this would last quite longer. The entire battle up here, but apparently not. Now let's go ahead and fight the steam tank. See what we can do against him. Well, that definitely killed that horse rider. I think this is a good test for Archeon to just see how far he's made it. And I think we've just wounded Karl Franz himself, so I think that pretty much means the what on earth is that? And why did it just... Oh. Can I get a better angle on it? Probably not. Why on earth did it just take flight above the city? That is oh so fascinating to me. Alright, steam tank destroyed, and so was everything else. That was a regular steam tank, wasn't it? Yeah. Along with his regular Demigryph Knights and all that. The problem is, I have not stopped his ability to recruit those units. I would very much like to do that, but in order to stop the Empire from having high-cost, high-tier units, we would need to go to Altdorf and burn that to the ground for the Chaos Gods, but that's not entirely an option, let's say, at a time like. But yeah. Right, here we are then. A decisive victory over the city of Prague, and I am going to loot and raise it simply because I don't need growth anymore, but did I not defeat Karl Franz up until this point? Fearless? Yeah. Causes terror when fighting the Empire, defeated Karl Franz. I did not beat Karl Franz up until now. I could have sworn I had, but apparently not. Alright, I'm going to get... what am I going to get? Once you get to around 100 armor, you don't need any more. Not really. Melee defense is nice though. But again, like there's caps on this, soft caps on this, that after a point they don't become as effective. I'll get Gathering of Might and Corruption, I think, because I would like to spread corruption a bit faster around these areas. Now, was there anything else I wanted to build? I think it was this, wasn't it? Like a shrine of Tsench. Yeah, because an arcane vortex wouldn't really help. I think it's just a shrine that we want. Giants are also not very useful. Yeah, I have the army I want, I just want the extra thing for it. Alright. I think we can go to the next turn and ourselves revel in the victory that we have achieved. Here's hoping this army marches, oh. There's gonna be a third one, right? No. No, there isn't. Oh well. Let's get rid of Volksgrad and the rest of the cities off camera, and I will be back once we find a worthy foe, and should such a foe not present himself, then we will head north once again to the Chaos Wastes to find such a foe, I believe. Can I actually make it to Volksgrad this turn? Yes I can. Good. another one burns for us. So we are basically re-establishing control over Kislev, or calling it control is a bit odd. Not necessarily control, more so just complete utter destruction, but you know, either way. I need 19 growth for this. Right, I'm gonna have it in like 2 to 3 turns. We'll see you next time then. Until then, have fun, take care, and bye-bye.